As you know, in the last 50 years, the countries south of the Persian Gulf have decided to spend a whole lot of money and built their cities Western style. And that's thanks to the unbelievable money they make from oil. Cities in Kuwait, Qatar, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. But the problem is, these cities are all Western style and it's not the culture of these countries. It was completely designed by Western companies, and that kinda sucks the soul out of them. But between these countries, there remains a country called Oman that's trying to do something different. This country only has a population of 4.5 million, and most of them live in the capital city of Muscat. So there's not a whole lot of cities in this country. A lot of European and American companies that help build the Persian Gulf cities like Dubai have suggested to the Sultan of Oman to do the same thing, build these glass towers to make your country look modern. But it seems like Oman is not a fan of these styles. The Sultan of Oman is Sultan Haytham, and he's not a fan of these modern looking cities. He wants his own style. Build something that matches our environment, and more importantly, our culture. Of course, Sultan Haytham wants to make his country attract tourists, it's not that, but he wants something that has a soul. And it's not like the other Persian Gulf countries. Their plan is to basically build a modern city like Dubai, Doha, or Neom, the Lion City of Saudi Arabia, but not use a whole lot of metal and glass and Western styling. Not that there's any problems with Western styling, but it doesn't match the Middle Eastern culture. So when designers got to work, they designed a brand new city called Sultan Haytham City, and this is the rendering. In this city, you cannot have a building that's taller than 6 stories, so don't even think about putting up skyscrapers. Even though the rendering and the style of the city seems normal and not that crazy, but it has all types of techs use it to make it a fully modern city. It is truly a futuristic city, but its design remains classic. And when you walk around, you get a happy feeling knowing you're in a different place than the other Persian Gulf cities. Sultan Haytham City is going to fit 100,000 people, and its design and culture is all going to be Oman style. And of course, its number one goal is to bring tourists to the country. The city is being designed from scratch, and its number one goal is to not have any traffic. And the way they do that, they're going to put bullet trains everywhere that gets everywhere to the city in less than 5 minutes. There's going to be roads, but it's so fast to take the train that you wouldn't even bring your car out there. And even if you brought your car out there, there's not going to be any traffic. Even though this city is going to be completely modern with all the techs and bells and whistles, but it's not going to be as expensive as the other countries in Middle East. The first phase of this city is going to cost about $2.5 billion. That's a lot of money, but compared to the Lion City of Saudi Arabia, the first phase is going to be nearing $100 billion. So that means it's 50 times as expensive just for the first phase. Of course, the people of the Middle East and even the people of Oman prefer to live in a city like Sultan Haytham. It feels more at home, and dare I say, it's more chill. Of course, every human on earth wants to live somewhere that has a soul, and it's not just a soulless city, and that's why this city will be designed like this. This city is being built about 40 kilometers from the capital city of Muscat. Between these two cities, there will be a high-speed railroad, and their plan is to go from there to there in about 5 minutes. And that's amazing for both cities, especially the capital city, because the connection between these two cities will be super fast. And it's good to note that with a car, it will take about 25 minutes. This also causes the capital city to gain a lot of profit and maybe tourists. A good example is that Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates receive about 15 million tourists per year. And that's while Oman only receives 1 million per year. So their goal is to build this city up and gain more tourists throughout the year, bringing more income and having more city for their growing population. This is very doable because Oman has another advantage. Their landscape is much better than the other Arabian Peninsula countries. If you pay attention to the topography of the Persian Gulf, you realize that the Persian Zagros Mountains continues into the Persian Gulf and goes into Oman. So in the eastern part of Oman, it's very mountainous, so that means it has better weather and actually rivers. Another positive thing is that they get the breeze from the Indian Ocean rather than the hot, dense air inside the Persian Gulf. All this we just mentioned cannot be found in Dubai or Saudi Arabia. But Oman doesn't have plans just for one city. This is the first city they're planning on building. They want to build different cities throughout the country. This is another design they have came up with next to Muscat, the capital city of the country, and they basically want to modernize the waterfront. In this area, there's going to be taller buildings for different businesses and hotels, unlike Sultan Haysam city where the maximum height is 6 stories. But since it's the capital city, their ruling is different, but it's not ridiculously tall buildings like the other countries. A lot of people might say they're not going to find investors for a project like this, but you have to know the location of Oman is much better than the other countries, and they have the same amount of money to spend. So investors like the idea of building a city in the Indian Ocean front since it has a much better weather. Like if the other countries do not have desalination plants, they're going to have the water problem, but that's not the case for Oman. Basically, in conclusion, they have started building this city and they estimate it will be fully finished by the year 2040. Please leave us a comment and let us know what you think about these types of design. Do you prefer the Omani design of a brand new city or the other Persian Gulf countries like Doha, Dubai, and the other ones?